In this episode of Speculative Tolkienism, we look at the Muster of Rohan and focus on the three main characters of the chapter, Theoden, Eowyn, and Merry. All three of them are faced with a choice. All three of them are given the option to stay home, and all three of them go forth into battle, into what is most likely a hopeless mission. Stay tuned. The main point of this chapter is like, hey, Merry, you can't really contribute much to the battle, Merry, but you should stay here. There's this question of whether or not Merry should join the battle and charge forth, and Theoden ends up encouraging him to stay behind, and much to Merry's chagrin.
Right.
And dismay.
I was going to say that word.
Yes. Thought I'd throw it in there. But interestingly, like earlier in the chapter of Muster of Rohan, Éomer gives Theoden like basically the same option and says like, if you would take my counsel, said Éomer in a low voice, you would then return hither until the war is over, lost or won. So he's telling him to return to Edoras and just wait out the battle, right? And then Theoden's like, nay, my son, for so I will call you. Speak not the soft words of worm tongue in my ear. So he's basically saying like, don't, try to get me to sit aside and, be safe and content and secure. I'm going to go off and ride to battle, right? And then it's interesting that later in the same chapter, he gives Merry that same counsel, like, hey, don't ride off to battle, stay here. And Merry's like, no, I'm going to. So there's a certain fatalism here with Theoden saying, this might be a lost cause. I'm definitely going to die, or I'm likely going to die, but I'm going to go forth anyway and seize the day or whatever. And Merry's the same way. He thinks like Frodo's dead, Aragorn's gone to the paths of the dead, and everyone's kind of embracing death. And Merry's like, screw it. I can't just live on comfortably when all my friends are embracing death.
Yeah, but I mean, I think with the Hobbit's optimism that he's thinking that he's going to go into battle and turn the tide somehow. I think they all think we're going to go and kick butt. You know what I'm talking about?
Right. Maybe in the back of their mind, because they've not seen a lot of battles, so they don't. Maybe they have they have an outsized view of what they're capable of, or something.
It's like the kid who is playing army. When you're kids and playing army or playing whatever, you're like, man, we're pretty good at this. We could probably go into battle and do some damage. Or it's the whole Red Dawn thing where it's a bunch of high school kids are fending off the whole Russian army,
Right. Yeah.
I mean,
Wolverine.
Yeah, Wolverines. But yeah, but I mean, what was it? Gandalf had said I can't remember what chapter it was in, but they I think it was during when they were in Rivendell, when they he was talking about Merry and Pippin, they wished I can't remember how they phrased it, but they are brave enough, or they wish to be brave enough to come out and and face this this task that's ahead of them or whatever.
Yeah.
I can't. But it's
that rings a bell. Two Sheds is referring to the scene at the beginning of The Ring Goes South, where Pippin chimes in, but that will leave no place for us. We don't want to be left behind. We want to go with Frodo. That is because you do not understand and cannot imagine what lies ahead, said Elrond. Neither does Frodo, said Gandalf, unexpectedly supporting Pippin. Nor do any of us see clearly. It is true that if these hobbits understood the danger, they would not dare to go, but they would still wish to go, or wish that they dared, and be ashamed and unhappy.
Yeah, but this is where it's now put up or shut up, for Merry, and I don't think he wants to be left behind. Right. He's like, all right, I've got to do my part for the war effort. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right. There's an interesting line here where Theoden says, again, he's like trying to justify why he wants to go to battle and not stay in Edoras to Eomer. And
Yeah.
there's this great line. He says, "Long years in the space of days, it seems, since I rode west, but never will I lean on my staff. Never will I lean on a staff again. If the war is lost, what good will be my hiding in the hills?" That makes sense. So, like, if the war is lost, then Sauron will just take over everything. So, hiding in the hills isn't going to help. And then this actually kind of confused me. He says, "If it is won, what grief will it be, even if I fall, spending my last strength?" So he's saying, like, if I'm hiding and we win, then that will be grief. Like that will lead to grief because
no. He said, if it's won, what grief will there be? Will it be like what's going to be the cost of victory?
Mhm.
You know, right? Is that how I'm reading that?
Well, so I think both of these are like contingent on him going to Edoras and hiding. So if the war is lost, what good will it be hiding? Because Sauron's just going to take over everything, and so I won't be safe. I won't be safe in Edoras. But if the battle's won, what grief will it be? So I'm thinking the grief will be the fact that he hid while everyone else achieved victory. Is that it?
Yeah.
But then when he says,
so, actually that makes sense because I was just reading the line by itself.
Right. But then even if I fall, so like where would he fall if he's it just confused me, like even if I fall, how could he fall if he's like hiding at Edoras? So
but maybe I mean again, like maybe like the original way that I saw it, like if the war is lost, what good will it be hiding in my hills? Like I didn't do my part to, like basically I'm going to choose my own ending, so to speak.
Right.
And if it's won, meaning that he was on the battlefield, what grief will it be even if I fall? But it can also mean that if it's won, like it's I'm saying it's a hollow victory, but I don't think he'd feel very good about himself, considering that he's still strong enough to ride a horse and to go out and face battle.
Yeah. Or maybe he's saying when he says what grief will it be, he's saying basically that it won't be grief. He'll say it won't this is I think what he means. It's like it won't matter if I die on the battlefield if we win, because I'll spend my last strength achieving that victory, and that will be the only thing that's really that important. So like he'll go into battle because if it's lost, everything's lost.
Yeah.
And if he dies in battle, then it won't be that big of a grief because we'll have won and he'll have spent his last strength in a good, noble, just cause. But if they win and he doesn't die, then that's like the best.
Yeah, that's the best possible outcome of the scenario.
He should have mentioned that there.
Yeah, right.
He should have been like, or we could win and I live, and how cool would that be?
That would be great. Let's go. But do you know who else we meet in this chapter?
Yes, I think we're leaving someone out.
Right. Master Dernhelm.
Why did she choose that name, Dernhelm?
No, why did who choose? It's the new.
Oh, I don't know. I'm sorry. Hey, speaking of Master Dernhelm, what did you think how in Jackson's film there is no pretense of a Dernhelm at all? Full disclosure here, spoiler alert. We're talking about Eowyn, who disguises herself as Dernhelm and kind of inserts herself into the army of Rohan. And she approaches Merry and says, "Hey, come join me. I'm Durnhelm. I'm a dude. I'm going to battle.
Yeah,
Join me.
I'm a guy.
And
Pay no attention to those breasts that are in your like that are poking in your in the back of your head.
right. But none of this is in the Jackson. Did you know that?
Yeah, but I mean,
can we look at the Jackson real quick before we get into the Éowyn story?
Sure.
All my friends have gone to battle. I would be ashamed to be left behind.
It is a 3-day gallop to Minas Tirith, and none of my riders can bear you as a burden.
I want to fight.
I will say no more.
Not very fatherly, was that Theoden?
Such a jerk. See, watch this.
Ride with me. My lady.
Yeah.
So it's my lady. He knows right away that it's her.
Okay, but let's be real here. Let's be absolutely real.
Okay, yeah, let's be real.
Could you there would be no way that you could suspend disbelief long enough to where where you see this new rider and I would be like, yeah, that's Éowyn.
But maybe it's a young man who hasn't fully developed yet.
Right. Except it sounds just like her.
Maybe she's talking like this.
Hey, ride with me.
I'm Durnhelm.
No, I think no, but honestly, I think that he made the right choice in this point because
he being Jackson
Durnhelm thing. Yeah, I think in the movie, because when you're reading, you can it's like that element of surprise, because I can't remember reading it if I can't remember what I felt like the first time I read that. It's like, oh, that's Éowyn, because it seems like I've always known it was Éowyn.
Yeah, you always knew. I think even you know. I mean, he throws in some clues where he's like, oh, this Durnhelm fellow was light and lithe and light and supple and nubile.
Pretty hot. He smelled really good.
Was really no, he throws in some adjectives something like he weighed less than most men or something.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, you would not. Again, I don't know if you're reading this book for the first time that you would actually.
Yeah, I can't put myself in that mindset really.
Yeah, but I mean, honestly, there was can you imagine if they tried to pull that off in this thing and everyone was like, this is so stupid. Duh, we know that it's that it's Éowyn.
That's the thing. I think the people who know the book very well would already know, and so the pretense would already be spoiled. From the get-go.
I think. Yeah, it works way better in print than it actually does in this, and honestly, I think for the sake of pacing or whatever, you couldn't. I don't think you could have this whole Durnhelm subterfuge going on or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, you're right. It works so much better in the book, and it would not have worked in the film. I think we're in agreement. Jackson made the wisest choice. In fact, this little clip that we just watched is only a minute long, and it's basically the whole muster of Rohan condensed into
pretty much
1 minute, and he does it really well. All the boxes are ticked, and all the main points are conveyed mainly.
Yeah.
So what do you think the motivation for Éowyn's choice to take this drastic action and disguise herself as Durnhelm or just join the ranks of the Rohirrim for this battle?
Okay, so you know how stalkers or people who are obsessed with other people, the old, if I can't have you, nobody can. What I think happened though is with Éowyn, it's if I can't have you, no one can have me. So I'm just gonna go and
If I can't have you, meaning Aragorn?
If I can't have Aragorn,
okay,
then no one can have me. I'm just gonna go. She was I think it's not so much in this book. I think in the movie, she just wanted to fight because she was brave, and But I think in the book, there's a little bit more of a. She was on a death mission. She was like
a death wish.
Either, yeah.
There's definitely something going on where she feels like she. Like at the bottom of this page here, where Eowyn gives Merry his armor, his gear.
Yeah,
it's interesting that Aragorn actually comes into the scene by she references Aragorn, and she says it says then Eowyn rose up. Come now, Meriadoc, she said, I will show you the gear that I have prepared for you. They went out together. This request only did Aragorn make to me, said Eowyn as they passed among the tents, that you should be armed for battle. So it's like, it's just weird that like Aragorn made this request of Eowyn and that he wanted nothing else from her. Like she's like, he didn't want anything from me other than to be the person that prepares you for battle. So that's the only thing. That's the only request he made of her. Therefore, she kind of does this, not grudgingly, but like with almost a heavy heart. Like, I don't know, Aragorn's in the picture, and she's like carrying out his only wish, which is like, doesn't involve her.
Right. But I think she just is so closed off because she's like, all right, I have no chance for this dude at all,
But do you really think she's seeking death?
She definitely wanted to prove herself. I don't even know if prove herself, but like
or maybe it's just the I mean, I don't think it's like the teenage suicide threat where, oh, my boyfriend doesn't like me, I'll show him, I'll kill myself. I don't think it's that.
Right.
But I do think it's something like my boyfriend, my would-be boyfriend, is going off.
My crush
is going off to be killed, and everyone else is too. Therefore, I will feel, even if no one even knows about it, because I'm doing this under disguise, even if no one ever realizes it, I will feel unworthy of him, of even loving him, even unrequitedly. I will feel unworthy of him if I don't also make that sacrifice. If it comes to that or something, I don't know. I think there's definitely, I mean, there's other motivations going on. Obviously, she's true to the Rohirrim. She's true to Theoden. She loves Theoden. She wants to maintain her position in his service, like she was when he was under the thrall of Wormtongue, where she was trying to help him through that. So she's like, just like Merry wants to be the sword thane of Merry, of Theoden. She also feels like her position is next to him, next to Theoden. So there's that. But I think definitely the Aragorn aspect definitely falls into that too.
Though, and I mean, let's not forget that we're kind of reading this with the benefit of having what when was it like 75 years, right? Of
like when it was written,
of movies and entertainment and everything based off this. I mean, if I had to really guess, it's way more simple than that. She loved him. He didn't return he didn't return her love in a way that was satisfactory to her. Mm-hmm. So she's like either wants to prove herself worthy or she just wants to like end it all. I mean, I think it's probably a lot more simple. I think it's just a simple, her simple motivation is that.
Right. I mean, there's that, and also, a feminist reading would also say like, oh, she also says this later, I think, with Faramir when she talks to him in the Houses of the Healing, that she doesn't want to be was it there or somewhere she says she doesn't want to be in a cage? Yeah, no, this is in the previous chapter.
Yeah.
The Great
When she's talking
Company.
to Aragorn.
She's talking to Aragorn, and she says, "I don't want to be in a cage, to stay behind bars until use and old age accept them, and and all chance of doing great deeds is gone beyond recall or desire." So, like, she doesn't want to be in a cage, or just like a nursemaid or whatever.
Yeah.
So there's that aspect of it too, and in that sense, she's very similar to Mary in the sense that, like, she feels like she's being discounted or left behind because she's a woman, and just like Mary feels discounted and left behind because he's a hobbit, a mere halfling.
Let me ask you this: something that I haven't considered until just now, though. Considering the role that they end up playing and the deed that they end up doing on the Battle of Pelennor Fields, right? I wonder if this was like, if this is kind of preordained, where they just have to get, like, they're compelled to go because they've got,
they sense that they're destined to great things or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's kind of very, like, and the Rohirrim, Tolkien was like an Anglo-Saxon scholar, and the Rohirrim are, Tolkien said, is like, those are the Anglo-Saxon tribes or whatever, and their view of life was very fatalistic, in Beowulf and stuff. Yeah. Like, you have to, like, you're fated to accomplish something, or you're fated to die a certain way, and I think that makes you very brave in battle, which they are. They're like, oh, it doesn't matter whether I live or die, but I have to do this. So you said that they had this idea that, like, oh, they have this high destiny to do great things, but it also, the fact that they do end up doing great things and killing the Witch King or whatever.
Spoiler alert.
Oh, sorry. That ties in with Tolkien's broader theme and ongoing theme of little people doing great things, like small, right. Whether it's a woman who's going to be left behind in the guise of Eowyn, or a hobbit, these people, or Sam, these people are not only for Sam, not only is he a hobbit, but he's like a lesser, or kind of a working class,
right,
hobbit. And these people that are kind of tillers of the soil, mundane, smaller, lesser, are capable of great things, just like these great kings and stuff. So I think it's, they rise to the occasion, and that's part of the theme that Tolkien continues.
Yeah, but
continues to.
Eowyn was definitely on a mission, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Two things. One, okay, so real quick, we don't usually talk about the poetry in these books, but I do want to mention that this poem, where they're talking about Theoden's, this is interesting, because this is a poem that is an example of the songs or poems that were written about this, what is just about to happen. So it's kind of a spoiler, because, right. I mean, it's almost a spoiler, because it actually doesn't say what happens in the battle, but it says that this is a song that's written about Theoden's charge, or that's the poem's about Theoden going to battle for this battle that's just about to happen. It hasn't happened yet. So we're getting like a retrospective, like, in 50 years, this is the kind of song that they're going to sing about Theoden, that's right. For what he's just about to do. Now. So it's a strange.
Hey, can you do me a favor, though?
Yeah.
Can you sing that in Glenn Yarborough's voice?
From dark hour tomorrow in the dim morning. Anyway, yeah.
With I'm and Captain Rodthingleson.
The greatest adventure.
Adventure is what, man. That's a banger, man. You know, I mean, tell me that when you heard that song, like when you were a kid, you're like,
Oh yeah,
this
I
is
love
so good.
Glenn Yarborough. He's a good guy.
You know, he's from Pittsburgh. Was he in Pittsburgh?
I don't know. Didn't he like give up music and just sail around the world on yachts or something like that? I'll have to look that
Maybe.
up. I think he's like, I don't.
I did a Limelighters deep dive the other day.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. Yeah. I think one guy started a commune. One guy and like Yarborough was like the most famous out of all of them. And they came
Right.
together and
He's the one that could really sing.
stuff. Yeah. So, but I do enjoy some Limelighters every once in a while. Like,
right.
very,
Vicky, turn your back on me or whatever.
yeah. And some of the more enthusiastic people are like members of the audience are saying, "Go man, go."
Or Harry Pollett was a worker. One of Lennon's lads, he was foully murdered by those counter-revolutionary cads.
Yeah.
They put him in the choir, but the hymns he did not like, so he organized the angels and he let them out on strike. It was like a communist kind of song. It was kind of
of course it is.
Anyway, these are lyrics that are still with me from my childhood.
Yeah, when you're like, yeah, this sounds like a really good idea.
Anyway, but I just have to point out in this poem, that they don't mention Mary. So it's still left to, it's like forth from dark Dunhower in the dim morning with his Thane and Captain rode Thingol's son, but Mary was not included.
They did mention Mary, free people, right there.
Where? Oh,
farewell
he bade to his free people. Oh, farewell he bade to Mary. Left him behind eating raisin bran.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, the other thing is that the poem is not rhymed. Okay.
Yeah.
So people might be like, oh, who cares? But it's it's written as an Anglo-Saxon, poem, basically.
Right.
So it's in the style of Old English poetry. Not only is it unrhymed, but it's in the same kind of cadence. And then most of these lines have a break in the middle of each line. So it's like, to Edoras he came, comma, the ancient halls. There's a lot of breaks in the middle of the line, which is called a caesura. That's your English lesson for today. It's Anglo-Saxon poetry, unrhymed with the caesura in the middle.
But isn't like modern poetry kind of unrhymed now? They don't.
Right, but this one has a rhythm to it. It's an unmistakable like Anglo-Saxon rhythm, which modern poetry doesn't have. It's not only is it unrhymed, but it's unrhythmed, which makes it kind of suck, in my view. Yeah. Modern poetry. If it doesn't have rhyme or rhythm, then might as well not be poetry. To me, poetry has to have one or the other, or both.
Right.